Just like last night, the situation is simple. Win against Glens Falls, and the Stallions find themselves with a first-round bye and a home game of the PGCBL semifinals. After a tough loss last night against the Oneonta Outlaws, the Stallions are looking to bounce back tonight from Eastfield, and we have all the action for you right here on the Saugerties Stallions Broadcast Network. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. John Gross alongside Dylan McGlynn. Dylan, again, simple situation. A win tonight would be a huge boost to the Stallions' playoff hopes to make a run.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, you look at the playoff format, the top two teams in the league get a first round bye. Those first two rounds are single game elimination, and then with the championship being best 2 out of 3, so obviously the Stallions want to avoid as many single elimination games as possible. Getting that first round bye gives you an extra day off, because the first round starts immediately the day after the regular season ends on Thursday. So you get that day off, you get Saturday, you get a home game, and then you win that, and just like that, you're in the championship.
Josh Stevenson leads off for Saugerties, and this is a Dragons team the Stallions have had a whole lot of success against. And 9-1 on the year against Glens Falls. They've also dropped 18 straight games in the season.
Yeah, Glens Falls on June 28th, they beat Mohawk Valley. They beat the Diamond Dogs 6-5. The record at that point was 7-15. They haven't won since. They are now 7-33 on the season.
First offering from the lefty Chris Grome hits the outside corner for a called strike one. Grome carved up the Stallions in his last appearance against Saugerties back in the 12th. We'll give you his numbers in a second as the 0-1 misses low. 1-1. He's a 1-4 record of the season, 5.19 ERA, making his 8th start, 8th overall appearance. Has 52 strikeouts in 34 2/3. As the 1-1 is lined back by Stevenson. Last outing against the Stallions back on July 12th, 12 strikeouts and no walks.
Yeah, he was dominant, 6 innings, 2 runs. Ended up getting charged with the loss. It was a low-scoring game, but Grome really shut down the Stallions. Overall, he's got a 2.70 ERA and 2 starts against Saugerties this year. So even though he struggled on the year, he's had a lot of success against this lineup.
1-2 down and out to Stevenson. That levels the count 2-2. Stallions enter today 26-12. As we just mentioned, a win gets them the coveted 2 seed. Josh Stevenson had a well-earned off day last night at Oneonta, hitting .300 in the season. The 2-2 from the lefty is hit the other way, drops into left, and that's a leadoff single for Josh Stevenson, who was 2 for 5 on Sunday night here at Glens Falls, and he gets the hitting started early.
Yeah, nice start for Josh Stevenson. Good at bat. Gets to a 2-2 count, gets the ball out over the outer half of the plate and just pushes it the other way for a base hit. And obviously, if you're the Stallions, you'd love to get a couple runs across right here and just kind of get your lead and get settled in.
2 nights ago, the Stallions had 15 stolen bases against Glens Falls, a franchise record. They stole every time they put a runner on first. Grome, a lefty, has a good look at Stevenson as Renwick shows bunt and pulls back, taken for a ball. The Stallions batting order as follows. Josh Stevenson led off in center field. Jack Renwick up now, plays second. Kip Futures on deck, the DH. The 4-hitter Kane Verduzco in right. Tyler Kelder back in the lineup. The 5 spot at first base. Andrew Wilhite 6, the EH. Colin Mackel 7 in left. Max Morris 8th and catching as the 1-0 is fouled away. 1-1. Nick Iverson hits 9th at third base. And Jared Brown plays short and bats 10th. A 1-1 count now in the field for the Dragons. It's Grome on the mound, pitching to John Collins. Left to right of the infield, Kyle Whitaker, Cameron Collette, Joe Rendy, Evan Keegan. As Grome looks over to first on the 1-1, deals outside 2-1. In the outfield, Jack Stolper patrols left, Michael Gorman stands in center, and Cole Durkin is in right field.
John, Jack Renwick has really gotten the bat going the last few games, last week or so. He's had a hit in 6 of his last 7 games. He's batting .407 in that span. He had the big home run against Amsterdam. He's got his season average up to .269.
2-1 dips down at inside 3-1. And he's been someone who's really come on as of late, like you said, even here at Glens Falls. Was 3 for 5 with an RBI, 2 stolen bases back on Sunday.
And going back even further, he had another game here at Eastfield where he had 2 triples.
Yeah, it was 4 for 5 in that game. The 3-1 to Renwick. Mile-high fly ball will stay in the infield. The shortstop Collette settles underneath it, makes the catch, 1 out. Brings up Kip Futures, hitting .330 on the year. Was 1 for 3 with a double last night against Oneonta after an off day against Glens Falls on Sunday. The Sunday night game was an 18-6 Mercy Rule win for Saugerties. A win that clinched a home playoff game. Now trying to clinch a first-round bye tonight. Stevenson at first after the single. Grome delivers home and gets it past the bat of Fugers, 0-1.
Yeah, well, Chris Grome, even though he has struggled on the year, like you mentioned earlier, a 5.19 ERA, but he's a big strikeout pitcher. He's got big-time swing and miss stuff. 52 strikeouts in just 34 and 2/3 innings this summer.
Tied for second in the PGCBL in that category. Hit and run is on. Stevenson takes off, and our first Benson steal of the night. Josh Stevenson in safely to second. Benson steal. They put stuff up. You can't knock down.
Yeah, great jump there from Stevenson. Always a little bit more difficult to get a good jump off a lefty pitcher, but no problem there for the future LSU Tiger, and a easy Benson steal.
0-2 count on Kip Fugers with one down. Now a runner on second, scoreless top first, and Grome blows it past the bat of Fugers for his 53rd strikeout of the season, which now puts him tied for first in the PGCBL.
Yeah, and that changeup is really a huge reason why. And you know, I say that even though he struck him out on a fastball, because he went back-to-back changeups, and because that changeup and that fastball really look similar for such a long time, it's really hard to pick up the spin. Yet Fugers, after being out in front, back-to-back changeups, might have been expecting a third one there.
Cade Verduzco comes to the plate with 2 outs. Watches the first pitch dip low, 1-0. Verduzco on a 3-game hitting streak, hitting .386 to the season. And as we were chatting before the game, this is .386 over 17 games. This is no longer a small sample size.
Yeah, he came in and was hitting the ball really well over the first few games. And, you know, like you said, it was kind of, oh, he's hitting well, but it's only a few games. But we're kind of getting to that point where, you know, he's been putting up these numbers consistently for almost a month now.
Takes the 1-0 at the knees. 1-1 count with 2 outs. He had another big game. Pretty much all the Stallions' batting order had a big game on Sunday. 3 for 3, 5 runs scored, 4 stolen bases, and 2 runs batted in. And the Stallions' 18-6 win here at East Fields. Grome checks on Stevenson back at second. He'll deal in the 1-1 with 2 outs and tails a pitch outside, 2-1. Saugerties 9-1 of the season against Glens Falls. This is a Dragons team that has dropped 18 straight games. Dylan said it's all the way back in what, June 28th?
If they lose their final 2 home games, it'll be a month straight to end the season.
2-1 pitch, foul back, 2-2. Despite that, still a great crowd on hand. I think it's, was it Little League night or something along those lines?
Yeah, lots of kids out running out onto the field with the players. We've seen a few teams do that this year. Amsterdam does that quite often as well.
2-2 with 2 outs. Stevenson takes off, no throw down to third. And he's in with another Benson steal, his second of this first inning. Benson steal, they put stuff up, you can't knock down.
Yeah, Whitaker at third got a late jump, but wasn't even on the bag. And for Stevenson, there was no chance he was going to be able to be thrown out there.
And Mark Irish is saying something. Wait, now Josh Stevenson has to head back to second. It was a ball, and he's on his way back to second base. Do not know what happened.
So if he has to go back, the pitch counts? Or is it 2-2?
He said 3-2. He held up at 3-2 fingers as Verduzco is K'd up.
Well, luckily for Mark Irish, I guess it didn't end up mattering. But that didn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Well, we head to the bottom of the first. No runs for the Stallions on 1 hit and 1 left on base. Scoreless in Glens Falls on the Saugerties Stallions Broadcast Network. Cameron Collette leads off for the Glens Falls Dragons, the 244 hitter, making his first appearance since July 21st. He gives this a deep fly to center, and it's over the head of Stevenson. Collette's into second base with a stand-up double, and the first pitch of the game for Bryce Reimer. It's 2 bases for the Dragons.
Yeah, I mean, that's a well-hit ball. You saw center field, Josh Stevenson, kind of the cardinal sin. His first step was in. Ball ended up just getting down over his head. And you see Rich Doobie, he's coming out to talk to Mark Irish because the lineup card we got had Collette leading off at number 13, but did not have Goff in the lineup at all.
No, which is why we're a bit confused. And
yeah, our lineup card had Cole Durkin batting second, but that is Andrew Goff.
Our lineup card also had the incorrect numbers. It had Collette listed as number 13, which is actually Andrew Goff's number,
yes,
who is up right now.
I guess they're going to let him hit.
By the way, we do have an update. It was batter interference when Josh Stevenson made his way to third. That was the call.
And it is Kobe Brulette on deck, who was on our lineup as a 3-hitter, so I would assume that it's just Goff for Durkin then.
First offering, lifted back foul. 0-1, Bryce Reimer making his 7th start of the season. 4.05 ERA, 1-2 record. Impressive strikeout to walk ratio as well, 20-6.
Yeah, he's been consistent, not overwhelming, not, dominating, but very consistent.
Bunt laid down, third base side foul. And Goff now behind 0-2.
Yeah, not a bad decision there. But obviously now, with 2 strikes, kind of takes that off the table. We saw Max Morris drop down a bunt with 2 strikes earlier this year, but obviously not something that anybody would necessarily advise a player to do.
So Goff quickly behind 0-2. Scoreless bottom of the first. A runner on second is Cameron Collette. 0-2 delivery from the lefty Reimer out of Bucknell. Checks back at second, kicks and deals home, misses down and outside for a ball. And it's only the first inning, Dylan, but we've seen some strange things happen tonight.
Yeah, this could be a weird night, John, if this first inning is any indication.
Reimer ready's on the 1-2. Sent back over our heads, and the count stays at 1-2. And listen, this night can get as weird and wacky as need be. As long as the Stallions come away with a win, that's all that matters.
Yeah, and that's got to be their only goal, get a win. Only 2 games left in the regular season, obviously including this one, so you'd love to go into that last game kind of stress-free, knowing where you're going to be in the playoffs.
1-2 delivery from Reimer, fouled away, as Collette was making his way to third. And the count stays at 1-2. And it's a good point you bring up because for a couple reasons. One, just the satisfaction of getting that 2 seed. You earn it tonight with a win. But also to save pitching. You have an off day tomorrow, then a game, then an off day if you get the first round bye. So theoretically, that could be 3 days to save some of your best arms as you head into the playoffs. Count remains at 1-2 after a handful of foul-offs by Goff. And this time he puts it on the ground towards second. A diving stop by Renwick. Throw from his backside is in time. Kelder is going to fling it over to first. And Collette slides in safely. A remarkable play at second base by Jack Renwick. Gets the first out of the inning.
Yeah, a phenomenal play there by Renwick. The lunge for that ball kind of took him onto his back. No time to get up, so he just literally sitting on the ground, pops up, makes the throw. Nice awareness by Tyler Kelder at first as well to quickly pop back and make sure Collette was staying at third there.
So back to our scheduled batting order. It's Kobe Bruyette, who watches a curveball settle at the knees. 0-1 has a hit in 5 of his last 6 games, batting .247 on the season. Lefty-lefty matchup, scoreless bottom of the first. A runner now on third for the Dragons. It's Collette as Reimer delivers, and again, Gets it fouled back, 0-2.
Yeah, we saw that big curveball from Reimer first pitch. Wouldn't be surprised to see it kind of low and away here. Obviously, you have to be able to trust that Max Morris is going to go down and block one if he does bury it.
0-2 to Briette. The lefty Reimer delivers, and it's sliced foul just over the Stallions' third base side dugout. Now, Colby Briette is from a town called Georgia, Vermont.
Interesting.
I wonder if there is a Vermont, Georgia. Like maybe the state's traded town names?
There's a lot of confusing town names. There's Mexico, New York as well.
There's a Russia, New Jersey. 0-2 from Reimer. On the ground to short, backhand stop by Brown. He'll let the run score. Throw on to first in time. 2 outs, and the Dragons strike first. A RBI ground out by Colby Briette.
Yeah, went to that curveball. Reimer did, it looked like, and a nice job by Briette to throw the bat down, get the bat on the ball, and hits a chopper to short, and with the runner at third, that was enough.
Glens Falls striking first. Brings up Evan Keegan, hitting an even 300 in the season. Has recorded a base knock in 5 of his last 6 games. As the first pitch home is swung through 0-1.
Yeah, Evan Keegan has unquestionably really been the best hitter for this Dragons team all year long. 804 OPS, which is the highest on the team.
0-1 to the righty Keegan. Misses down, 1-1.
The last few times that the Stallions have seen the Dragons, the last few weeks or so, we've seen Evan Keegan batting down towards the bottom of the order, which is a little interesting, but obviously right now I'm back here hitting cleanup.
And he backs away from the 1-1, 2-1. And that's, I think every time we'd see that, we'd question it. Why would a guy of his caliber, one of, if not the best hitters of this team, be hitting 7th, 8th, 9th, or 10th?
Yeah.
Reimer comes home with a 2-1. Curveball is fanned on. And I think without a doubt, that is his best pitch. The curveball, for a lefty like that, is so difficult to hit.
Yeah, and he's got a good pitch mix, and I think that's really what makes Reimer so successful. He's got a solid fastball, but he's got a good curveball, and he's got a very good changeup as well. And his ability to mix with all three has really kind of been his key to his success this year.
Goes upstairs in the 2-2, and the count's now full with 2 down. Scoreless, 1-0 Glens Falls in the bottom of the first. So a quick start for the Dragons. Looking to play spoiler. Stallions jockeying for playoff positioning. Curveball, miss. Oh, that's in there. Just on the outside corner as Keegan flips his bat back to the dugout. Mark Irish rings him on up, and we head to the top of the second. 1 run comes across on 1 hit, nobody left on base. Top 2 after this on the Saugerties Stallions Broadcast Network. Tyler Kelder leads off for the Stallions, his first game since July 21st. Great to see him back in the starting 10 for the Stallions as Grome's first pitch is skied back foul. 0-1 count as we enter the top of the second. 1-0 Glens Falls. John Gross alongside Dylan McGlynn. Thrilled to have you joining us on the Saugerties Stallions Broadcast Network. second to last game of the regular season, final road regular season matchup. The Stallions have an off day tomorrow before wrapping the regular season up on Thursday night at Cantine Field. Kelder reaches outside, misses, now behind 0-2. 5, 6, 7 due up for Saugerties. Kelder, Wilhite, and Mackel. The 3 due up in the second. Grome has 2 strikeouts already. He's up 0-2 on Kelder. And Kelder fights off the 2-strike pitch. Fouls out at the first base side.
Yeah, well, they call Kelder Mr. Stallion. Not hard to see why when you look at his career numbers. This is his 4th summer with the team, and it's been more the same. 813 OPS, 3 homers in 28 games for him this year.
0-2, yanked foul, left field. And he'll stay alive. Yeah, a guy who holds a whole host of Stallions career records. Kingston native, his dad Ronnie is the first base coach. And someone who Stallions fans and the rest of the PGCBL have become very used to seeing have a lot of success on the field. 0-2 to Kelder, tapped away foul. And he has now fought off 3 straight 2-strike pitches from Chris Grome, who is a really good pitcher in terms of putting away strikeouts.
Yeah, he's done a good job here. The 0-1 pitch was a changeup that was pretty well outside. He chased it, but since then he's been able to buckle down. He's fouled off 3 pretty tough pitches here.
0-2 to Kelder, puts this deep to left center field. Back goes Goff, looking up, and that ball is long gone. A game-tying solo home run by Tyler Kelder in the top of the second, his 4th of the season. And we are level at 1. Welcome back to the lineup, Tyler Kelder. What a way to rejoin the starting 10, Dylan.
Yeah, how's that for your first game back? Misses a few games, comes right back and says, hey, I got this. Like we mentioned, he fought off a couple really good pitches there. When he got down 0-2, gets that fastball and just crushed it. You saw Goff in center. He gave it a look, but only a few steps. That one was gone right off the bat.
4th home run of the season for Kelder brings up Andrew Wilhite, who swings through the first offering. And I think it's big to see that for the Stallions as a whole. Last night, a flat offensive performance. A fairly slow start in the first inning. Maybe that could be the spark these bats need. As the 0-1 misses down and outside, 1-1.
Yeah, I think, the self-doubt might start to creep in there after that first inning. You fall behind. You're already lost last night to a new game you felt like you should have won, a game tonight that you feel like you should win. So, really good job for Kelder to come back and just tie this game up here.
A 3-1 count now on Wilhite. In the top of the second, we are tied at 1, and he watches at the knees. So we were just alerted by our good friend Ben, one of the broadcasters here for Glens Falls, that there is a standoff going on in the fields. We'll give you the insight in a second. Full count to Wilhite. Sent down to center. Backtracking is Goff. Now comes in under it. 1 away. We didn't notice this, but the Stallions bullpen, Ray Rodriguez, has been holding his right hand over his heart since the conclusion of the national anthem. And Andrew Winchell is doing the same for Glens Falls in their bullpen. This is a standoff that has been going on for about half an hour, and there's no end in sight.
Yeah, first pitch at 7 o'clock. It is 7:27, and this is still going on.
Colin Mackel watches the pitch outside, 1-0. I respect the dedication. This is awesome.
Really, yeah, we've seen some standoffs at the major league level, but normally it's with guys out of the dugout and the home plate umpire has to make them walk back down. But since these guys are down in the bullpens, which are already in play anyways, they could do this all game if they wanted to.
2-0 Mackel lines it back foul. Mackel, his batting average creeping up towards 200 now, hitting 196 in the season. Did not play last night, but was 3 for 5 with a quartet of runs batted in on Sunday here at Glens Falls.
Yeah, he's starting to come around. He got off to a slow start, but the pop has always been there. The eye has always been there. You just kind of knew watching him hit that he's much better than his numbers have suggested most of this year.
2-1 is fouled back. Count now 2-2, 1 out. Top of the second, Stallions just tied things on a Tyler Kelder solo home run. It's 1-1 at the top two. Lefty, lefty, the 2-2 pitch home. Mackle fans, and that is the third strikeout for the PGCBL strikeout leader, Chris Grome. And the standoff continues, folks. Ray Rodriguez was just gifted Jacob Marquez's catching helmet, and he's still going. This is amazing. Max Morris watches the pitch upstairs. And fans, I want your prediction. When will this standoff end, and who will win? Leave us a comment in the comment section below. If you get it correctly, we will give you a shout out. Morris lines it foul, first base side, 1-1.
Who do you think's going to win, John?
I think I have to go with the Stallion, Ray Rodriguez.
Yeah, can't pick against the hometown guy here. I wonder who started it.
1-1, misses low, 2-1. That we don't know. We'll have to get an update from that. The tough thing is, from our vantage point, both guys are being blocked by light posts, so we couldn't see it until it was pointed out to us. 2-1, Morris inside outs this, right field. Under it, Gorman. Plenty of time, and he has it, 2 outs. And nope, pardon me, that was the third out of the inning. So we head to the bottom of the second. Stallions get 1 run on 1 hit, a Tyler Kelder solo home run. We are tied at a run apiece. Bottom 2 after this on the Saugerties Stallions Broadcast Network. As we enter the bottom of the second, let's send things down to our sideline reporter, Shannon Bonowitz. Shannon?
Thank you, John. Something that may come into play for both teams tonight is the fact that the infield and outfield grass is still a little bit wet. We saw Josh Stevenson slip up a little bit in center field in one of the innings, but the Stallions may be able to utilize this if we can hit the ball hard on the ground and make things happen offensively.
Thank you, Shannon. And do you have an update on the standoff? You'll have to get us an update when you come back for your 5th inning report. So we head to the bottom of the second. Thank you, Shannon. Yeah, the standoff continues between Ray Rodriguez and Adam Winchell in the bullpen. So we'll update that in the background, but still a big game for the Stallions. A win would guarantee the 2 seed and a first-round bye. We're tied at 1. Bryce Reimer back on the mound for his 2nd inning of work. And Joe Rendy will lead off, the 163 hitter who the Stallions saw as a starting pitcher on Sunday night. Lefty, lefty. The first pitch of the bottom of the second is a curveball grooved into the zone, 0-1.
Yeah, we look at Glens Falls, they have a lot of position players who pitch, and unfortunately some of them are just kind of out of necessity because the team, as the year has gone on, has really just struggled to find arms that can give them consistent innings.
0-1 on the ground, first base side. Kelder fields it off of 2 hops. He'll sprint to the bag, tap it, and there's 1 down. And we saw Kyle Whitaker, who is on deck right now. We saw him pitch a couple nights ago as well. They had 2 position players pitch on Sunday night.
And I mean, the catcher, John Collins, has pitched against the Stallions as well this year.
Yes.
I mean, you've seen infielders like Nick Marola, not in the lineup for Glens Falls tonight, but he's not a pitcher. Yeah, he has thrown a few innings for the team this year.
Michael Gorman watches a pitch low, 1-0. Gorman hitting 196 on the year, was 1 for 2 with an RBI on Sunday in the Dragons' 18-6 loss against the Stallions. Reimer working with pace. Fires the 1-0, gets it past the swinging bat of Gorman, 1-1. And the standoff is still going.
And John, I think somebody put the dragon mascot head on Winchell's head.
This is unbelievable. 1-1 from Reimer. Breaking ball, swung through for strike 2. And Ray Rodriguez now has a catcher's mask on his head and is holding a bat. And has the catcher's gear on as well. 1-2 from Reimer with one away. Swinging, strike 3, a Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union strikeout. His second of the night, and there's 2 away in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, nice job there by Reimer. Got ahead with the soft stuff, elevates with the fastball, gets it by him. Pretty classic combination there, classic sequence, but when you have good stuff, you can do it any old way. And yeah, Adam Winchell down the right field line has the Glens Falls Dragon mascot head on his head, and he still has his hand over his heart.
Dedication to the cause as Kyle Whitaker whiffs on the first offering. Whitaker hitting .040 on this season. In 10 games this year is 1 for 25 at the plate. His lone hit did come against the Stallions, though, back on June 12th. 0-1 offering with 2 outs to the righty Whitaker. Ducks away. 1-1 inside. I feel like this standoff will have to end once someone has to go to the bullpen to warm up, right?
That's true, yeah. I mean, you look where both guys are standing. They're standing right in between the mounds and the...
Curveball grounded. Backhand stop by Brown, and there is hit number 2 on the season for Kyle Whitaker. His first hit since June 12th, and he's now 2 for 26 at the plate.
Yeah, you know that feels really good for him. Doesn't matter that it was a ground ball, infield single. You just know he feels really good to be on base with a clean base hit. Nice play by Jarrett Brown to stop that ball, but hit into that hole, that 5.5 hole. No chance for him to get up and make a throw there.
1 on and 2 outs. 1-1 the score, bottom of the second. For Jack Stolper, hitless over his last 2 games. The .250 lefty awaits the first delivery from Reimer. Swings through it. 0-1.
Seen some aggressive swings here early on from the Dragons in these first 2 innings. Early in the count as well.
Reimer stares to first. Kicks and delivers home. And hits at the zone. 0-2. Well, listen, this is already a more competitive game than what we saw a couple nights ago. It was a 7-inning Mercy Rule 18-6 win. The Stallions scored a run in every single inning, all 7 innings. They were already kept off the scoreboard back in the first. On the ground to second. The Renwick comes in, flip on to Kelder at first, and that completes the second. So we head to the top of the third. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on base. 1-1 the score. Third 2 in the Saugerties Stallions Broadcast Network.
Oh, they just mentioned the standoff. Welcome back. Top of the 3rd inning, and as you probably heard me just say, they are acknowledging the standoff going on here. Top of the 3rd. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by 5-Star Awards and Tees, top custom team gear awards. Benson Steel, you've heard about them. Josh Stevenson with the first inning stolen base. They put stuff up you can't knock down. Nick Iverson leads off as he swings and misses at the first pitch. And Bob Gehring Septic, honest, dependable, reliable. If you need it pumped out, call Bob. Delvecchia and Kraft Injury Lawyers, hit by a pitch sponsor. If you've been hit, call Delvecchia and Kraft Attorneys. Grown back on the mound. The 0-1 pitch is dropped in there for a strike. Now quickly 0-2 on Iverson. Still a 1-1 game here at East Field in Glens Falls. Top of the third inning.
Iverson, another guy who's been hitting better as of late.
Fouls that one back, stays alive. Count remains 0-2.
Also creeping up towards 200 at 185 now, but he has recorded a hit in 4 of his last 5 games, including a 2-for-4 performance last night against Oneonta.
Be interesting to see some guys try to, fight for playing time in the postseason. 0-2 hit in the air to right field. Gorman is under it, 1 away.
And that's something that we were chatting about before the broadcast. Does Rich Doobie go back to the 9-player lineup, or does he stick with 10? Now, if he's going to go to 9, it's going to be a bit more of an exclusive group of players who's going to be playing in these playoff games. But you're right, guys are going to have to earn it. I think there are a couple players in the fringe of maybe top 9 hitters on the team, and these last 2 games could prove to go a long way for their case to be in the lineup.
1 away now for Jarrett Brown, who takes one outside. 1-0. And yeah, John, to your point, I think the decision on whether to bat 9 or 10 for Rich Doobie really ultimately comes down to, do you think that you have 10 hitters that you think need to be in the lineup? Do you think that 10th hitter makes your lineup better? 1-0 from Brown, popped up in the air, right center. Long run, Gorman calls everyone off and makes the catch for out number 2.
About as unnecessary of a catch as I've ever seen. The center fielder, Goff, was right there. Gorman just robbed him of a catch.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Gorman came all the way over from right center. Goff really only had to take a few steps in and kind of to his left. Gorman came all the way over and called him off really in the last few seconds. That'll flip the lineup for the leadoff man, Josh Stevenson. First pitch swinging, and he nubs that one foul.
And just to explain what's going on with this standoff, because I do see a comment here, both players, you stand with your hand over your heart for the national anthem. Both players have stayed in that same position since the anthem. It's been over 40 minutes, and they are not budging. And now both have absurd costumes on.
A 1 pitch to Stevenson is lifted high in the air, shallow center. This time Goff will call everyone off and make the catch. A quick 1-2-3 inning on the mound for Chris Grome. We head to the bottom of the third, still a 1-1 game. You're listening to Dylan McGlynn and John Gross on the Stallions Broadcast Network. Welcome back to East Field here in Glens Falls. 1-1 game in the bottom of the third. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Dallas Hot Wieners, official bullpen sponsor of the Stallions. Bringing the hot sauce out of the bullpen. Design yourself strong sports performance at DYS. They build better athletes. Dwyer Contracting, high quality craftsmanship in a family-owned business. And Ephros Orthodontics, the official smile provider for the Stallions. JC Caffarella leading off in the bottom of the third against Bryce Reimer. Swings to the first pitch, lifts it high in the air. Third base side, fair territory. Initially, Iverson called for it, but Brown calls him off and makes the catch, 1 away.
And you might have been able to see at the tail end of that play, Iverson slipped as he made his way onto the grass. That's something that Shannon brought up in the middle of the second inning.
Yeah.
The grass is wet. It must have rained earlier today. I
Yeah,
don't know.
it was raining here upstate New York. I mean, I'm located about 30 minutes south of here, but it was raining most of the day. Not hard, but enough that it could definitely make that grass a little moist. First pitch, the catcher, John Collins, is down and in. 1-0.
And I know there was some potential rain expected closer to game time, but fortunately we didn't see any of that right before first pitch.
And that one lined into left field, excuse me. That's going to get down in front of Mackel for a base hit. Third hit of the game for the Dragons. And that'll give the leadoff man, Cameron Collette, a 1-out base runner here in the third.
And Collette, keep in mind, took the first pitch he saw to deep center for a double. Very first pitch of the game, thrown by Bryce Reimer. We'll see if he's as aggressive, but that's been the trend tonight for Glens Falls. They've been more aggressive at the plate. They're attacking pitches early in at-bats, and they've been able to find some success.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of early swings. I mean, even the last two batters, Caffarella popped out on the first pitch, and then John Collins, 2 pitches into the at-bat with a base hit. And this time Collette will take the first pitch. Good curveball, drops in for a strike.
Yeah, that's a beautiful pitch to start off an at-bat with.
Yeah, started the first at-bat with a fastball that just got smoked to center, so this time mixes it up. Count 0-1. Collins with a small lead off first. Pitch is chopped foul right at home plate, 0-2.
And the standoff continues over 45 minutes.
First pitch was at, I believe, exactly 7 o'clock, so yeah, it has been 45 minutes. These two guys standing here. Now you just wonder what's going to happen if one of them has to go into pitch. I feel like now you look at the standoff, it's going to come down to whoever pitches better, the starting pitchers, because one of them is going to have to move when they have to warm up a reliever. 0-2, struck him out, swinging. Collette swings and misses behind on a fastball. That is the second out of the inning, and the third strikeout for Bryce Reimer.
I'll say this, Andrew Winchell is very lucky that it's not a hot day, because he's wearing that Dragons mascot head. That would be pretty tough to stand in for this long.
Yeah, it was in the mid-60s at first pitch, so definitely not the warmest day. First pitch to Andrew Goff is low and away, 1-0. Goff grounded out to second base on a really, really nice play by Jack Renwick. Was a hard hit ball. 1-0 from Reimer. Curveball, and that's in there, 1-1. And Reimer has really good command of that curveball.
He does.
So far tonight.
That is his money pitch.
Whenever he needs a strike, seems like he can just flip that right in there. The 1-1. Another curveball right there, 1-2.
And he does a really good job of not hanging it too high in the zone. He'll keep it low, or he'll keep it right in the outside portion of the plate.
Collins with a small lead off first. The count 1-2. 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Reimer comes set. And the pitch. In the air, right center. Moving over is Verduzco. He makes the catch, and that ends the inning. Another strong inning on the mound for Bryce Reimer. We've played 3 full here in Glens Falls. The score 1-1 on the Stallions Broadcast Network. Welcome back to East Field here in Glens Falls, New York. Top of the 4th inning between the Stallions and the Dragons. Is still a 1-1 game. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Grist Mill Realty. Looking to sell? List with Grist Mill. Halter and Associates Realty. Make the right move with Halter. Hell's Mortal Realty and Insurance, official sponsor of Stallions Insurance Runs. IMN View Incorporated, independent medical review, world-class results, and local connections. IXL Health and Fitness Club, keeping the Stallions fit all season long. Leading off here in the top of the fourth is Jack Renwick. Mentioned he's been off on quite a tear these last week or so. Popped out in his first at-bat. And he'll lead things off against Chris Grome here in the fourth. First pitch swung on and lifted towards the first base side, but foul out of play. And the count's 0-1.
Here's the real test of the standoff.
Yeah, the standoff's still going
Because
here in the fourth.
The bullpen's here on the field.
Yes.
It's in play.
Yep.
If there's a foul ball coming right at them,
Oh.
are either one of them moving? If there's a teammate coming at them to make the catch, are they moving?
That's a good question. 0-1 from Grome. Slider gets the outside corner, 0-2. Oh, we mentioned Reimer's curveball has been a big reason for his success so far for Grome. Can pretty much say the same thing about his slider.
Good movement. Tough to hit.
And the 0-2 in on the hands, chopped foul, and Renwick stays alive.
And that ground ball did go to the bullpen, made its way towards Ray Rodriguez, but he's keeping that hand on his heart and not moving.
Yeah, that one, luckily for him, not hit too hard. Kind of a little slow ground ball, but yeah, you have to wonder what they're going to do if somebody hits a line drive at him. Another 0-2 to Renwick. Hit in the air. Right field, Gorman moving over, makes the catch. One away.
In case you're just joining us and you see only one run on the board after the Stallions just scored 18 on Sunday against Glens Falls, well, this shouldn't be a surprise. Chris Grome is one of the better pitchers in the PGCBL, leads the league in strikeouts. He's had a lot of success against Saugerties. The Stallions just have to keep things close until they get into the bullpen. The latter portion of this Dragons pitching staff is where they really struggle.
One out, and Kip Futures takes a strike, 0-1. Futures struck out his first at-bat. Came into tonight with a .934 OPS, 4 home runs, and a team-best 30 RBIs in just 31 games. And he's behind 0-2 now. Again, that changeup low and away has been a pitch that Futures seems to really be struggling with here against Grome.
Yeah, Grome can, regardless of the batter, continues to work that outside corner.
0-2, curveball, hit high in the air to left center, and that ball will be caught by Goff. Excuse me, that was Stolper in left who made the catch. 2 down. Looked like Futures just got a bit under that one there.
Yeah, and this is similar to what we saw last night against Oneonta. The Stallions just not really able to hit well, and I think you could credit a lot of that to Grome. And similar to what we saw last night, the Outlaws pitching staff did a very fine job. But you'd love to see just a couple more base runners get on base for Saugerties.
Just 2 hits so far for the Stallions as Cade Verduzco fouls the first pitch away. 0-1. And Chris Grome has not thrown a ball yet in this inning.
Remarkable.
Actually has not thrown a ball to the last 4 consecutive batters now. 0-1 pitch, and well, there you go. That one's outside, 1-1.
He's also retired the last 8 batters, pardon me. We'll make sure to emphasize that as well.
I believe it's 9 now. Oh, no. You're right, it is 8. It is 8. You're right. That one misses low, 2-1. If he gets Verduzco, it would be 9.
It would be 9, right.
Yes. Retired the last 3 in the second, and then 1-2-3 inning in the third. He's got the first 2 down in order here as that one catches the inside corner. Count now 2-2 on Verduzco. Verduzco, like Futures, also struck out his first at-bat. Grome, the 2-2, kicks and deals. This one hit in the air to right center. Moving back is Goff. Now it's Gorman, makes the catch. And another 1-2-3 inning for Chris Grome, who has retired 9 consecutive hitters. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Still 1-1 here in Glens Falls. Bottom of the 4th inning here in Glens Falls. Bryce Reimer back out for another inning of work, and tonight's broadcast brought to you by J. Mullins & Sons, Masonry Excavation Building, and a whole lot more, as well as Jim Hallwick Seamless Gutters. Protect your home with Jim Hallwick. Kobe Bruyette will lead off here in the bottom of the 4th, 0 for 1 with a ground out so far tonight as he takes a strike, 0-1. Game has been cruising along, and if you were wondering, yes, the standoff between Ray Rodriguez and Adam Winchell is still going on, and Winchell still wearing the Dragon mascot head. That one fouled back.
And we do have part of one of our questions answered. There is a pitcher, Sam Howard, warming up in the Glens Falls bullpen, but he is standing next to Winchell. So
yeah.
Winchell still stays standing.
0-2 pitch to Bruyette is grounded up the middle. Renwick, a sliding stop. Throw to first is not going to be in time. Great play by Jack Renwick, but Bruyette beats it out. It's an infield single to start the inning.
And Renwick, we know his speed in the bases, but there's a difference between just being able to run fast, like 60-yard dash, whatever, and actually being game fast. He is game fast. You see him in the base paths. You see him in the field. That's a ground ball that most people cannot get to. He's able to at least get there and keep it in the infield.
So runner at first to start the inning. That'll bring up Evan Keegan, who struck out looking his first time. Again, a short lead off first for Bruyette. First pitch swung on and missed. 0-1. Talked about last time. Stallions, last time they were here just a few days ago, set a franchise record for stolen bases, but the Dragons, with the base runners they've had, have really not taken big leads at all off of first. 0-1. Tap to first. Kelder fires to second for 1. Back to first is not going to be in time, so they get the lead runner. And that's all. It'll be a fielder's choice. And the first out here in the 4th.
And a smart play by Tyler Kelder. He's in a position where he could have ran back to first, stepped in the bag, get that out, but he makes a little bit of a tougher play. His spinning throw on to second. They get the lead runner and prevent somebody from reaching scoring position.
So now Keegan at first after reaching on the 3-6-3 fielder's choice. That'll bring up Joe Rendy. Grounded out to first baseman Kelder, his first time. Takes upstairs, 1-0.
And if you thought Briette's lead was minimal, take a look at Evan Keegan at first. You should be able to see this in the broadcast. He's maybe literally one slide off the base.
Oh, there's,
okay,
there's a second one. And I'm assuming he'll take a secondary. So he might get to 4 here. 0-1. Lifted. Left field, and nice play by Nick Iverson. Got a good jump right behind the bag at third, just on the edge of the outfield grass. Makes the catch for the second out.
That's an underratedly difficult play. He has to backtrack, he has to find it under the lights, and he has to avoid slipping. It's a wet playing surface out there.
Now 2 outs. Keegan still at first, and that'll bring up the right fielder Michael Gorman. Struck out swinging. His first time came into tonight batting 196, a home run, and a 688 OPS in 21 games this summer. First pitch from Reimer is a called strike, 0-1.
Reimer and Rome really going blow for blow in the mound. Both pitchers have looked good, and after giving up runs early, have settled in over the last couple innings.
0-1 pitch from Reimer outside, 1-1.
I feel like Rome has to stay in for a 5th inning, right? I know Howard's warming up, but
I understand that Howard's warming up, but I can't imagine he's warming up to immediately come into the game. Grom has been very strong. He's been very efficient as well. Can't imagine the pitch count's too high either. 1-1 pitch. Curveball just misses. Tried to get the outside corner, and it didn't get the call. 2-1. Keegan leads off first, kind of. The 2-1, inside, 3-1.
it's more of a step off at first.
He stands in the vicinity of first.
Yes. About, 85 feet away, 87 feet away from second base?
That's closer than 90, I guess.
Yeah.
And the 3-1 pitch is fouled straight back. Now the count's full. So here's the moment we've been waiting for, John. Full count, 2 outs. Evan Keegan is going to be stealing on this pitch.
Well, we think. I mean, conventional wisdom would tell you that he's going.
I mean, something
I
has
hope
to
he
happen.
goes. He has
He's
to
gotta.
move.
Gorman's gonna either put the ball in play, he's gonna strike out, or he's gonna walk. So either way, Keegan will have to go to second. 3-2. Here he goes. Pitch is swung on and missed. Reimer strikes out Gorman to end the inning. 4 strong innings for Bryce Reimer. We get to the 5th here at East Field. Still 1-1 between the Stallions and the Dragons. Welcome back. Top of the 5th here at East Field in Glens Falls. Tyler Kelder, the man responsible for the only run of the game so far for the Stallions, leads off against Chris Grome. It's a 1-1 game still. First pitch is outside. And as I just mentioned, Tyler Kelder, his first at-bat of the game, his first at-bat back after missing the last 4 games, hit a solo home run to left center field and tied the game at 1, and that's still our score. That one's in the dirt, 2-0 now.
And so often you see guys after breaks, whether it's this season with the team as a whole with some of these rainouts and consecutive days, or injury or being out of town for a bit, it takes a while to adjust to the live pitching. It was not the case for Kelder.
Shoots that one foul out of play, 2-1.
And it's a big difference between taking pitches in batting practice, having someone just toss a ball to you, and facing a pitcher as good as Chris Grome, or any pitcher pitching in this league. But he found success in his first at-bat back.
2-1 pitch to Kelder. Inside on the shoe tops, down in the dirt. Count now 3-1.
As expected, Grome stays on the mound, but the righty Sam Howard is warming up for Glens Falls, if need be, in this 5th inning.
3-1 pitch from Grome is low and inside. Ball 4. First walk issued by Grome here tonight, and it's a leadoff one to start at the top of the 5th.
And if you're a Stallions fan, you're just waiting for this team to string together some hits, to get a couple base runners on, to put pressure on Grome, because with the exception of the Kelder home run, you did let up a single to Stevenson, who got into scoring position with a stolen base, but otherwise the Stallions have not put much pressure on Grome. He's found a lot of success today in the mound.
Yeah, not a lot of high-stress pitches for Grome so far. As his first pitch to Andrew Wilhite is high for a ball. Kelder took a couple big leaps off of first there, almost like he was going to steal, and Wilhite showed bunt before pulling back.
I don't know if we will see Kelder steal. His first game back, I don't know.
1-0 pitch, grounded hard into right field. That's a base hit. Kelder is on his way to third. Here's the throw from Gorman. It is going to be not in time, and following Kelder is Wilhite as he's into second. Second and third to start the inning for the Stallions.
Kelder just made his way to third. Didn't get down for a slide, but Wilhite with good base running as well, off to second. And that's it, exactly what I'm talking about. Consecutive base runners get on, put pressure on Chris Grome, and now you have a handful of opportunities to take your first lead of the night.
So Kelder at third, Wilhite at second, nobody out. Infield comes in as Colin Mackel steps to the plate. First pitch swinging, that's lined into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. 1 run scores. Getting to third and being held there is Wilhite on the throw home. Mackel moves into second base. It's 2-1 Stallions here in the 5th.
Just the first pitch he sees, go after it, be aggressive, pull it out to right field, and I like the decision to keep Wilhite at third. You still have no outs. You don't have to force anything. It was a pretty good throw, actually, for Michael Gorman in right. That probably would have got Wilhite. Instead, you still have 2 in scoring position. No outs for Max Morris.
So second and third, still nobody out, like John mentioned, for the catcher Max Morris, who's 0 for 1. First pitch, swinging, fouls that one back. 0-1.
And this is what you expect to see. If you're the Stallions in a game like tonight, you want this win to get that 2 seed, to get the first round bye. It was only a matter of time before they started to string hits together.
0-1 pitch to Morris. Grounded to second. Coming home is Wilhite. The throw is going to be in time for the out. Rendy to Collins at the plate. It's a 4-2 putout to get Wilhite. Mackel moves up to third, and Morris reaches on the fielder's choice. So runners to the corners now with 1 out and still a 2-1 game.
And that's why you bring the infielders in. Makes it an easy throw for Joe Rendy. And puts runners in first and third.
Another chance of driving a run here for Nick Iverson. Shows bunt, pulls back. That pitch inside the... Iverson thought it was inside. He's saying some words to Mark Irish. That was called a strike. I count 0-1.
What? That was just a bad call.
Is Mackel at third, Morris at first. 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Chris Grome trying to get out of further trouble with his team trailing 2-1. 0-1 pitch to Nick Iverson is up and away for a ball, 1-1. By the way, the standoff, we haven't updated you on that in a while. It is still going on between Adam Winchell and Ray Rodriguez. That one shot foul out of play. Iverson now down in the count, 1-2.
And if Grome can get a strikeout, that brings the Stallions just an out away from any of the inning with only 1 run. Seemed promising that they could pour on a few, but this is a crucial at bat. Iverson needs to find a way to drive home Mackel from third.
Grome set the 1-2. Morris takes off, pitches outside, no attempt to throw down. So, not sure how to score that, but in my mind, that's another Benson steal. This one for Max Morris. Benson steal, they put stuff up you can't knock down. So now with 1 out, that takes a double play out of the equation. The 2-2, and again, Iverson fouls this one out of play. Second and third, and only 1 out here in the top of the 5th.
And again, that puts even more pressure on Grome. This is what we were just talking about. Put him in some high pressure situation. Make him throw some tougher pitches.
Another 2-2. Iverson takes another one up and away, and the count is full, 3-2.
It's a big difference when you're pitching with nobody on base versus 2 guys in scoring position.
Payoff pitch here from Grome. The 3-2 grounded up the middle. That's a base hit into center field. 1 run scores. Coming around third is Morris. Here's the throw to the plate. It is not in time. A 2-run single for Nick Iverson. And the Stallions lead it 4-1.
Nick Iverson is looking like a completely different hitter than he was earlier in the season. Now he's hitting 5 of his last 6 games. A clutch base knock to drive home a couple of runs with 2 strikes to his name. And the Stallions are starting to open things up. 4-1 lead here in the 5th.
Great piece of hitting, clutch hitting from Nick Iverson as the first pitch to Jarrett Brown misses high. 1-0 now. 3 runs home in the inning for the Stallions on 3 hits. Still just 1 out. Here is they've finally started to figure out Chris Grome.
And Sam Howard still warming up for Glens Falls.
Yeah, he was now throwing off the mound to a catcher, so it looks like he's getting close. Wonder how longer Grome will get. 1-0 in the air, center field. Going back and making the catch is Goff for out number 2. Brown hit that one pretty well. Looked like it had more carry than Goff expected.
Did that ball shot off his bat with the purpose? Regardless, 2 outs, and you'd love to see the Stallions keep this inning going, but if not, you put up 3 runs, you create some separation. This should be enough for the pitching staff to preserve this lead. Of course, though, you want to see more runs scored by Saugerties.
So runner at first and 2 outs now for the leadoff man Josh Stevenson as Grome throws over to check on Nick Iverson, who is at first base. First time we've seen him throw over today. Haven't seen too much action on the base paths from the Stallions so far, other than a couple attempts from Josh Stevenson in the first. That one misses outside, 1-0. Stevenson 1 for 2, singled, and then flew out. Have to imagine, playoff time, Josh Stevenson will be the leadoff hitter for this Stallions lineup.
I'd say so.
That one chopped foul. Count now 1-1. Now, when I talked to him about a week ago, he said, you know, he really learned a lot from Gunnar Goldsmith, who, when he was here, the Washington State product was leading off quite often. And after he departed, it took a little while, but it seems like Josh Stevenson has kind of claimed that spot for himself here. 1-1 pitch from Grom. Here comes Iverson. The pitch is up and in for a ball. Throw down, not in time. Stolen base for Nick Iverson, and he's in scoring position now with 2 outs.
Another Benson steal. Not quite as aggressive as what we saw on Sunday. Sunday was literally like the first pitch or two every single time that a Stallion was on first base, they'd take off, but still a successful night of the base paths.
2-1 pitch. Just off the plate outside. Count now 3-1. And John, Benson steal, I hear that they put stuff up that you can't knock down. Ray Rodriguez and Adam Winchell still standing off here in the top of the 5th inning. 3-1, grounded to second base, picked up by Rendy. Throw to first is in time to end the inning, but the Stallions plate 3. 2 of them coming on a big 2-run single from Nick Iverson. We head to the bottom of the 5th, halfway home at East Field. Stallions lead it 4-1.
Bottom of the 5th, Stallions lead 4-1 on the Saugerties Stallions broadcast network. Shannon Bonowit, another sideline update. Shannon?
Thank you, John. The standoff is still happening on the field. We have a Glens Falls player in a dragon, I guess you could call a dragon helmet covering his whole face. And then we have Ray Rodriguez for the Stallions, who I actually mistaked for Jacob Marquez in the beginning because he is actually wearing Jacob Marquez's full catcher's gear, even though he is a pitcher. So we will see if this catcher's gear will stay on Rodriguez or will Marquez need it to actually warm somebody up. But so far the standoff is still going through 5 innings.
Awesome, thank you, Shannon. And this is, this might be a PGCBL record, Dylan.
Longest standoff, John?
Longest standoff.
Well, it is 8:13 here, Eastern time. First pitch was 7 o'clock, so it's been an hour and 13 minutes, and neither player has moved.
A little more than that, too, because the anthem was probably 3 minutes before the game.
That's true. There was first pitch after the anthem as well. Then the players took the field to warm up. Bottom of the 5th, first pitch from Bryce Reimer is in the dirt to Kyle Whitaker. Whitaker, we talked about his last time. He singled, which hopefully for him snapped him out of a cold spell. He was just 1 for 25 to start the year, so after his first at-bat, he's now 2 for 26. Swing and a miss, and out in front there, and the count 1-1.
It's good to see if you're a Kyle Whitaker fan, if you're a Dragons fan. Season winding down, working hard all year, and get rewarded with a base hit.
Yeah, you always want to end on a good note. That one fouled back, count now 1-2. For the Dragons, their season ends tomorrow right here at East Field. They host the Albany Dutchmen. It's their final regular season game. Usually the Stallions end their regular season on Thursday at home, and then we'll begin the playoffs, a hunt for the PGCBL championship. 1-2 from Reimer, struck him out swinging. Whitaker down on strikes, back-to-back strikeouts for Reimer, and that's the first out here in the 5th.
And this bottom of the 5th is where the Stallions can solidify themselves. You can get a shutdown inning after putting up a 3 spot in the top of the 5th. You figure the offense is going to keep rolling, especially as the Glens Falls bullpen comes in. Big inning for Reimer to keep another 0 on the scoreboard.
So 1 down for Jack Stolper, who takes a ball high. 1-0. Stolper out of Middlebury, playing left field tonight. He grounded out to Renwick at second base his first time. 1-0 pitch is lifted down the left field line, foul. And yeah, Ray Rodriguez didn't even give that one a second glance.
No, Ray has taken off his the catcher's helmet and the face mask. A little less of a load on his body, I guess.
Meanwhile, down the right field line at Winchell, still with the Dragons helmet, as Stolper fouls that one back to the screen. Count now 1-2.
I'll never forget my first summer working with the Stallions back in 2018. We're here at Glens Falls, and somebody's dressed up as the Glens Falls Dragon mascot. They took a tumble down the staircase in the press box.
Oh boy, in the press box.
Yeah,
that
the
one
staircase.
On the outside corner, called strike 3. Stolper down looking, 3 consecutive punch outs for Bryce Reimer, and that's out number 2 here in the 5th.
Reimer is just all about the sequence. His off-speed pitches set up his fastballs, and then he can hit the spots with his fastballs, and yeah, just such a good lefty pitcher. And like you said, 3 straight strikeouts.
2 down, first pitch to J.C. Caffarella is chopped to second. Renwick fields it, and a clean 1-2-3 inning for Bryce Reimer. We're through 5 full here at East Field. Stallions lead the Dragons 4-1. Top of the 6th. We are officially at 2/3 of the way home. We're about to be after this inning. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Jolly Cow and Lake Katrine, because everybody loves ice cream. Lineman Institute of the Northeast climbed to a successful career. Main Street Restaurant, voted the best Mexican restaurant in the Hudson Valley. Speaking of the Hudson Valley, Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union, the official strikeout sponsor for the Stallions. Bryce Reimer has racked up quite a few of those Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union strikeouts, and leading off the top of the 6th for the Stallions will be Jack Renwick and Chris Grome back out on the mound for his 6th inning of work, even after giving up 3 runs last time out there.
And Sam Howard no longer warming up either.
First pitch to Renwick is fouled back, 0-1. Yeah, we saw Howard throwing for really about almost an inning and a half, I would say, and now no action in the bullpen. There is some action as Adam Winchell just took off the Dragon mascot head, so his open face is now exposed, but his hand is still over his heart, so don't be alarmed. We're in the 6th inning and the standoff is still going on.
Unbelievable.
1-1 pitch, hit in the air to center field, sending Goff back. Now settles under it and makes the catch, out number 1.
He had a tough time finding it. He went back, then over,
Yeah.
then in, then over, then back, and finally got to it for the first out.
Well, these lights can be difficult here at East Fields, here at any field really. Once the ball kind of crosses through the path of those lights, it can be real difficult to find it again.
And we saw on Sunday night, Nick Iverson hit a ball at the center field. Probably should have been caught. The center fielder was about 15 feet away from it because he couldn't see it.
Kip Futures steps in and takes a strike, 0-1.
And the best part about that was that the center fielder stood there with his glove up confidently that the ball was coming right to him. Nowhere close to it.
Those are the moments you like to forget as a baseball player. 0-1 pitch is outside, 1-1. Futures 0 for 2 so far, a strikeout and a flyout. Stallions were really shut down against Grome until last inning. Only scored 1 run on 2 hits over the first 4 innings. As Futures takes the ball, 2-1. 2-1 from Grome is lifted foul out of play. 2-2. So yeah, the first 4 innings for Grome, 1 run on 2 hits, but last inning in the 5th, he gave up 3 runs on 3 hits. 2-2 to Futures is popped up on the infield. First base, Keegan calls for it, makes the catch for out number 2.
A lot of flyouts today, Dylan. Looking through my book,
Yeah.
the Stallions have fielder's choice, ground out in the 5th. That's
Only a
it.
few.
They've hit 2 ground balls today.
Yeah.
Otherwise, popping everything up.
So 2 outs and the base is empty for Cade Verduzco, who is 0 for 2 with a strikeout so far tonight. First pitch swinging, lifted down the right field line and out of play. 0-1.
It's looking like a good decision by John Mueller to keep Grome in the game. At least so far.
Yeah, he's cruised through the first 2 batters here in this 6th inning, and check swing. That's going to be a foul ball down the first base line. So now Verduzco's behind 0-2. That was close for a while. Looked like just kind of rolled over to the other side of the bag there, right before he reached the bag, which obviously is that that cutoff point.
Yeah, no Taiwan Walker moment for Evan Keegan.
Yeah, that was embarrassing. 0-2 from Grome is upstairs for a ball, 1-2.
Well, it was just typical Mets.
It's crazy that even when they're good, they somehow aren't good.
They somehow do stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, they are a good team. They have a very good roster, but they always just find some way to be enamored in controversy as Verduzco smokes that one to right field, a clean base hit, and that keeps the top half of the 6th alive. First hit of the night for Cade Verduzco.
Just hit it on a line the other way, and that's a big reason why his batting average is just shy of 400 in the season. He's has a good mix of contact and power. We've seen him have a lot of pop in his barrel, but most of the time he's up there just poking it left and right and getting on base.
I bring up Tyler Kelder with 2 outs and a runner at first, and yeah, Verduzco doesn't have enough at-bats to qualify yet, but his OPS, 1.042, would be the highest on the team if he did qualify, as Kelder takes the ball 1-0. And I think the other thing that's kind of surprising is a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, if you looked at the lineup and you saw Verduzco ahead of Kelder, that might have raised some eyebrows, but not now.
No.
Throw over to first, and it gets away. The throw from Grome was past Keegan. It goes all the way down the line. Coming around to third is Verduzco. He's going to get there standing, and he even had time to take another look. Now the throw to third gets away. The throw home was up the line, and Verduzco comes all the way around to score. A pickoff attempt results in Verduzco taking 3 bases, and it's now 5-1 Stallions.
And Evan Keegan, I think he actually had to avoid Winchell in the bullpen, which delayed his time to get to the ball, and then just moonshotted a ball back into the infield. And that allowed Verduzco to score. Wow.
1-0 pitch behind. Oh, excuse me, this is Caden Kendall at the plate, not Tyler Kelder. So Kelder has been relieved after 2 at-bats, and Kendall is ahead 2-0 in the count.
Tyler looked a little slow on his last time in the bases.
That one fouled back 2-1. Yeah, you have to hope not anything that could cause him to miss some time. He mentioned that he was not in the lineup for the last 4 games and only 2 at-bats tonight, but made a big impact, a homer and a walk, and he scored a pair of runs. The 2-1 is outside, so Kendall ahead 3-1, and Caden Kendall, a guy who has also started to hit the ball a lot better recently.
Absolutely. Had a 3-for-3 game here a couple nights ago.
And takes, oh, that's a called strike. Count full, 3-2. You saw Kendall toss his bat, take a couple steps towards first. Maybe try to sell that one to Mark Irish.
And he's helped out by Stallions bat boy and the best bat boy in the league, Chase Pickles, who made the road trip. Second road trip he's been on this season with the Stallions and has a 1-0 record.
Payoff pitch to Kendall, swing and a miss. The bat went flying. Whoa, that almost hit a fan in the stands. That is strike 3 to end the inning. Stallions get another run. A couple unorthodox events in that inning. A bat going into the stands, and before that, Cade Verduzco scoring from first on a wild throw from a pickoff attempt. It's 5-1 Stallions as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th, John Collins, the number 10 hitter, leads off against Bryce Reimer. Back out for another inning of work. His first pitch misses down and in. We do have a defensive change to tell you about. So Kip Futures was originally the DH, and Tyler Kelder was playing first, but after Caden Kendall came in for him, Futures moved to first base. So Caden Kendall not in the field. He's just hitting first pitch, or excuse me, that one's inside as well. Now 2-0 on Collins, who singled his first time. 2-0 from Reimer is taken inside half of the zone for a strike, 2-1. And, well, bottom of the 6th, this game has been on almost an hour and a half. Fast game, but nonetheless very impressive that the standoff between Adam Winchell and Ray Rodriguez is still going on. That one's in the outer half for a strike, 2-2.
You know what? Between innings, might try to zoom the camera in on both guys just to give everyone a look. It's tough to see from our angle, but trust us, they're down there.
The 2-2 pitch from Reimer. Line drive into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit in front of Mackel. So Collins is 2 for 2, and he's on to start the 6th. Dragons need some runs, trailing 5-1 here.
Similar hit to what he had in his first step at. Yeah, just line drive to left field. One hopper to Mackel.
So that'll bring up the leadoff man, Cameron Collette. Doubled on the first pitch he saw in the bottom of the first and struck out swinging his second time. So 1 for 2 so far. And again, John Collins with a minuscule lead off of first. That one grounded hard to short, picked up on a hop by Brown. 6-4 and not in time on the way to 3. So they get the lead runner, but that's all. It's a fielder's choice. And Collette's at first with 1 away.
Jack Renwick had a tough time making that glove to hand exchange. And that about a half second or so delay is what prevented the double play ball.
So Collette's at first, 1 out, as Collins retired on the base pass after his leadoff single. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Andrew Goff. 0 for 2 against Reimer so far tonight. First pitch is up and away for a ball, 1-0. And again, even with Collette at first, he's not taking a big lead whatsoever either.
Now there is action for Saugerties. Looks like Jarek Woodward throwing right next to Ray Rodriguez.
And that one fouled out of play, a 1-1 on Goff. I have to imagine that the crowd is going to react in some way. They know this is going on. I believe Ray Rodriguez took a step back or two to give Woodward more space. That one line to right field. It is going to get down for a base hit in front of Verduzco. Throw to third is cut off. Well, no, it wasn't cut off, but he's not in time. Runners at the corners with one out after a base hit from Andrew Goff.
Can we acknowledge that throw for a second?
That was a great throw.
I don't know
Very,
if he was
very good
trying to
throw.
hit the cutoff man or trying to go right to third, but he spun about midway, 3/5 of the way in right field, spun around, threw it on a dime, a one-hopper right to Nick Iverson. That was just a split second behind for the Tech.
Ball was slicing away from Verduzco in right field as well. So Collette's at third, Goff is at first, and that'll bring up Kobe Bruyette, who is 1 for 2. He singled his last time. Trying to get the Dragons back in this one. We're at the bottom of inning number 6 here, and they trail at 5-1. Reimer comes set, the first pitch. Foul back, 0-1. This was a very tight game for a while. Dragons struck first in the bottom of the first to go 1-0, but then Tyler Kelder homered to center field to tie it at 1. There was no more scoring until the Stallions played it 3 in the 5th. That one fouled out of play, 0-2. They added another run in the top half of this inning, so that's where we stand, 5-1 in favor of the Stallions.
Likely Reimer's final inning, and 2 outs away from getting there.
He's ahead 0-2 on Bruyette. First and third, 1 out. And the pitch. Struck him out swinging. High fastball right by him for out number 2, and a big strikeout there for Bryce Reimer.
Absolutely. You get runners on the corners with 1 out. 2 best things that could happen for you. Obviously, a ground ball, double play. Otherwise, a strikeout. Now we'll have to finish off Evan Keegan, who is 0 for 2.
Strikeout number 6 for Reimer in this one, and as you just mentioned, Johnny will face Evan Keegan with runners at the corners and 2 outs. Keegan struck out looking and then reached on a fielder's choice. Takes in the dirt, 1-0. Said Bryce Reimer has been extremely efficient tonight. He's the guy that the Stallions are going to need in the postseason, especially with all the losses they've suffered pitching-wise. A 1-0 pitch is on the inside corner for a strike, 1-1. It's a great location for that curveball.
It really is. And it has some pretty good side-to-side movement as well.
Yeah,
Not
it
just up
does.
and down, but it comes across side to side.
It's kind of a mix between the two, almost. The 1-1 hit hard to third, off of Nick Iverson. He keeps it in the infield, throw to first, gets away by Futures. On his way to third is Goff. He's going to stop there. Keegan into second. It's an RBI single for Evan Keegan with the runners advancing on an E6.
Yeah, I don't know why Brown made that throw. Had no chance to get Keegan after it hit off of Iverson's leg, but has now 2 in scoring position, and the Dragons are making their way back into this one.
And now a 5-2 game, and a base hit here could cut the lead to just 1, and it will be Joe Rendy. He is 0 for 2, grounded out to third and popped up on the third base side of the infield. Second and third and 2 outs. First pitch, up and in, almost got him. 1-0. Rendy struggling entering this game at the plate, batting just 163 of 447 OPS in 17 games. Reimer comes set, the 1-0. Outside, good block by Max Morris behind the dish, 2-0.
Yeah, it's been one of the things that he's brought to this team is abilities behind the plate. We know what he can do hitting, we've seen that, but I think the best part of his game is just his ability to block balls, and also has a really high baseball IQ. We've seen him make some really smart and good throws to catch runners in the base paths.
Reimer comes set. The 2-0 pitch is right there for a strike, 2-1. Now, John, correct me if I'm wrong, but that run is not earned for Reimer, because I do not believe he would have scored if not for the wild throw.
I think he might have, because he was on third. I don't know. It was an infield. No, it would have been close.
Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, I think
This is
that
on
would,
third,
yeah,
but
he was on
Manfield's
third.
hit.
Yeah,
Yep.
that would have
Manfield
counted.
was
Yep.
played back.
It's the count of 3-1 as that one missed outside. So, yeah, it is an earned run, but now Reimer just has to limit the damage. Second and third, 2 outs, and a 3-1 count to Joe Rendy. Curveball for a strike, and the count's full. Great pitch there, 3-1. You don't necessarily want to give in and just cruise it, pump a fastball down the middle, so able to drop that curve for a strike.
This is a game-defining pitch. If he can get out of this inning, still up by 3, the Stallions are in a good spot.
Reimer set, the 3-2 to Rendy. In the air, center field, Stevenson coming on, makes the catch, and that ends the inning. Dragons get 1 back, and we head to the 7th. 6 strong innings for Bryce Reimer. He's in line for the win. Stallions lead it 5-2 here in Glens Falls.
Top of the 7th, Saugerties leads 5-2. A win clinches the 2 seed for the Stallions. Stallions baseball is brought to you by Mirabella's Restaurant, perfect for friends and family tonight and every night. Nacroto Insurance, over 50 years, 50 carriers, they've got you covered. Montano Shoe Store, the best athletes or the best from Montanos. PC Smith & Sons Hardware, Smith Hardware on Main Street, got a project? They can help. And Peak Trading, need lifted up or tied down, Peak Trading has the supply. So a pitching change for Glens Falls as the righty out of Southern New Hampshire University, Sam Howard, takes them out.
Yeah, John, it has been a big struggle for Sam Howard this year. 8 games, 1 start. He has an ERA of 26.06. He's allowed at least 2 runs. Excuse me, he has 1 scoreless outing, but other than that, he's allowed at least 2 runs in every appearance he's made, including 3 runs in just 2/3 of an inning last time out.
Andrew Wilhite fouls back the first offering from the righty. Sam Howard, final line for Chris Grome. 6 innings, gave up 5 runs, 4 earned, 5 hits, 4 strikeouts, and 1 walk. A 1 lefty Wilhite is taken low. 1-1. 6-7-8 for the Stallions. Wilhite, Mackel, and Morris as they lead 5-2 in the top of the 7th. The 1-1 misses upstairs, 2-1.
And that right there has been the big problem for Sam Howard this year. He struggled with his control. 24 walks to just 12 strikeouts in 9 1/3 innings pitched this year. So if he can keep it in the strike zone, he's going to have a much better chance of having success. But that's been the main issue for him.
2-1 delivery, pop the other way. Whitaker gets under it in foul territory, and it pops out of his glove as he almost collided with think Ray Rodriguez is still over there, right?
Yeah, Ray Rodriguez
still
is
there,
still
almost
over
right
there on
next
the
to him.
other side of the mound. You saw Whitaker kind of come towards the other side of it. They weren't too close to each other. That ball, I think Whitaker might have got distracted by the fact that he was kind of coming up on that mound, wanted to make sure he wasn't going to trip or anything, and but it just took his concentration off the ball a little bit. But yeah, obviously, it's a big chance there. That's an out that was in his glove.
2-2 to Will Height. Nobody out, top 7. The offering home misses. Down and inside, and the count's now full. The Stallions find themselves in a pretty good spot. Top of the 7th, up by 3 runs, just 9 outs away from clinching the 2 seed. A first-round bye in a home semifinal game. And Will Height works a walk. Fastball down towards the feet. And for the 3rd time tonight, the fourth time tonight, the Stallions lead off with a base runner.
Yeah, nice job by Will Height. Will Height, a guy who has, really proven himself to be such a patient hitter. He's got a great eye. 1 for 2 tonight. Reached base in 2 out of 3 plate appearances.
Brings another guy who's 1 for 2, and Colin Mackel as he watches a ball from Howard.
They actually just appealed down to the field ump, who said he went around on that one.
Okay. So 0-1, not 1-0. Mackel had an RBI single back in the 5th. Takes outside 1-1.
Sam Howard has pitched against the Stallions this year. June 20th, he started. Or excuse me, he did not start, but June 20th, he went an inning and 2/3 and gave up 7 runs.
1-1, hacked out and missed. And Howard ahead 1-2.
You see, that's a pitch. If he throws that more often, he's going to have a lot more success. Also appeared against the Stallions on July 6th, giving up 2 runs in an inning and 2/3.
A ball and 2 strikes. Will Height leads off first, now takes off to second. It's a low pitch. The throw down to second is not in time, into center field. So a Benson steal for Andrew Will Height. They put stuff up you can't knock down.
Yeah, like you mentioned, John, the Stallions not quite being as aggressive on the base paths, but still have quite a few stolen bases tonight. We've seen some guys run. Will Height just getting himself in a good position to get that run back.
And Mackel keyed up swinging for the first out. Brings up Max Morris, who is 0 for 2.
Yeah, Max Morris, real interesting guy. Came here just a few weeks ago. Stallions just needed another catcher from Division III St. Thomas, well, soon to be Division I St. Thomas, in Minnesota, and he has just really impressed basically everybody from day one, both with his defense and his heading, which I think has been a lot better than a lot of people expected.
Yeah, takes the pitch low. That's been the key. He's been able to both hit and play defense at a very high level for the Stallions. 1-0, misses below the knees. 2-0, because you look what this team lost with 2 of the catchers that headed back to their respective colleges. Gene Napolitano reached base every single game he played with the Stallions. Solid hitter, great catcher, and J.P. Ty was arguably the best hitter on this team by the time that he left. 2-0 on Morris, and nearly got nicked in the shoulder. Takes ball 3 inside.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at Max Morris, obviously, yeah, he's a very good defensive catcher, but there's a lot of guys who are very good defensive catchers. There's not a lot of catchers who are good defensively that can also hit. So the fact that he's been able to supplement his defense with the bat has been huge.
And ball 4 misses in the dirt. Second walk issued this inning by Howard. That brings up an interesting question that it's a debate that 2 of my good friends from back in New Jersey have all the time. Who is the best hitting catcher of all time?
I mean, the first guy that comes to mind for me right off the top of my head is Mike Piazza.
Yep, I think that's the right answer. I'd say so. Nick Iverson is 1 for 2 as an RBI single and a stolen base tonight. Runners on first and second for the Stallions. Loop to shallow right field, and this drops in over the head of Rendy. The bases are loaded. A 1-out single loads the bases, and Nick Iverson with his 2nd consecutive multi-hit game.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta be lucky to be good. Sometimes you gotta be good to be lucky. Iverson's been a bit of both lately. Came through with a huge 2 RBI single in his last at-bat, one that he squared up and put right up the middle. This time, gets jammed, just kind of flares it into right field, and Luckily for him, it's kind of in a no man's land between Gorman and Renty. Neither of them able to get there.
Jarrett Brown is 0 for 2 tonight. The righty has the bases loaded. First offering from Howard misses down. 1-0. 5-2 Stallions, top 7. Here from Eastfield, the final regular season road game for Saugerties. A win away from clinching the coveted 2 seed. Corner infielders in as Brown watches a heater upstairs.
Yeah, here's the situation where, you know, Howard's biggest weakness is really coming back to bite him here. You just have to throw strikes. Have to give him a chance to swing the bat.
2-0, and that one is in the zone. Lifted foul, first base side and out of play. And the Stallions play tonight, then have an off day tomorrow before wrapping up the regular season at Cantine Field on Thursday. If they win either tonight or on Thursday, they get the 2 seed and will have a playoff game on the 31st. Brown whiffs on the 2-1, now 2-2 count with 1 out. So fans, make sure to come on out Thursday, final regular season game. And then we'll see, depending on what happens tonight and or Thursday, either a home playoff game on the 30th or the 31st. 2-2 to Brown, taken up and in, full count.
Yeah, obviously if the Stallions can hold on here and clinch that 2 seed, getting that extra day off would be so huge for this team. Just an extra day to rest your guys, and more importantly, another game that you don't need to waste arms on.
3-2 upstairs, and that brings home a run. An RBI, bases loaded walk drawn by Jarrett Brown. John Mueller heads onto the field. We might see a pitching change. Let's see if we get the point. And that is it. 6-2 Stallions, bases remain loaded with 1 out, top of the 7th of the Saugerties Stallions Broadcast Network. Christian Grigas enters. The lefty settles into a bit of a jam. Bases are loaded. Top of the order for the Stallions. It's Josh Stevenson. Puts the first pitch he sees back. 0-1. Seen Grigas a couple times this year against Saugerties.
Yeah, 17 2/3 innings, an 11.20 ERA. Another guy who has struggled a bit with that command. 12 walks to just 7 strikeouts. And like you said, John, toughest position you can come into as a reliever. Bases loaded here.
0-1. Curveball misses just a bit up. 1-1. 6-2 Stallions, top of the 7th. A win away from clinching the 2 seed and in doing so a first round bye in the playoffs, guaranteeing a home semifinal matchup. A ball, a strike, in and out. The base is loaded to the leadoff batter, Stevenson. Sends it the other way, foul out of play.
So Sam Howard went 1/3 of an inning, faced 5 batters, allowed 1 hit, 3 walks, and 1 strikeout. He's given up 1 run, and of course is responsible for all 3 runners on base as of right now.
1-2 from Grigas, and he will step off. Looks like he actually had to sneeze. Bless you.
That would have been a very embarrassing way to balk in a run right there, if he had sneezed with his foot on the rubber.
Probably would have been the first time in history. 1-2. Oh, made Stevenson look silly on the big hook for the second out.
Yeah, big strikeout there from Grigas, just trying to keep the Dragons within striking distance, a 4-run deficit here, and he just whips off a really, really good breaking ball. And Stevenson, like you mentioned, no chance against that one.
Two outs for the 2-hitter Jack Renwick. Looking to break this thing open. Stallions ready to lead by 4. Renwick lifts this to right field. In comes Gorman to make the catch. And that wraps up the top of the 7th. The Stallions do get 1, but do strand 3. As we head to the bottom of the 7th, 6-2 Stallions on the Saugerties Stallions Broadcast Network.
Alright, so tomorrow for Legion, it's me and Jake game 1, and if it goes to game 2, it'll be me and Mike.
Okay.
So Trey Turner was out because of he tested positive for COVID.
That was my guess.
You were right, yeah. You were right. Let's check on their stream. How are they doing? Kingston Saugerties playing.
Jared Woodward. Standoff is still going, right?
Yes. Yeah, Ray's down there. Yeah, Ray's down there. Winchell's down there. Yep. Still going.
Talk about it. Our camera's not being able to get a shot right before that.
Can I? Honestly? Because it's bad, but I think Kingston Saugerties loses tonight. Because the parents being up on this.
What are they like?
Kind of. They're not like super over the top or anything, but it's just like every quarter, like all they're like, oh come on, yeah. Like obviously they're gonna favor. It's just like.
Bottom of the 7th, Stallions up 6-2. Jarek Woodward on the mound. His first pitch is, he did go around. It's a strike. The standoff continues.
Remarkable. It really is.
One miss is down and out, 1-1.
Well, if you're wondering what's happening at Cantine Field, the Legion New York State tournament is still going on. Championship tomorrow.
And a swing and a miss for strike 2.
Our colleagues Michael Gross and Jake Starr are on the call right now.
Yeah, you can check that out as well.
I'll be down there tomorrow.
Woodward on the 1-2, kicks and deals. Floated out to right field. Back goes Verduzco, making his way towards the foul line, makes the catch. 1 out.
Yeah, nice play there by Verduzco, got a good jump. Ball just kind of kept carrying on him, sending him back towards that corner. And no issue for Verduzco, who really has impressed on both sides of the ball. And also, how about Kyle Whitaker walking up to Good For You by Olivia Rodrigo?
I respect it.
I do.
It's a good song.
I mean, Jack Renwick, second baseman tonight for the Stallions, walks up to Hips Don't Lie by Shakira.
Yeah, some great walk-up songs as Kyle Whitaker digs in and takes a strike. 0-1.
One of Jarek Woodward's biggest strengths this year has been his ability to throw strikes, does not walk a ton of batters, really makes them come to him. And
0-1, grounded right back to Woodward. Makes his way out of first, underhand toss in time for the second out.
Well, talk about making the hitters come to him. Whitaker literally came right back to him. Nice play by Woodward for the second out.
So Woodward looking to orchestrate a 1-2-3 inning. It's 6-2 Stallions, bottom of the 7th.
Not sure if anybody watching has noticed tonight, but the scoreboard here in East Field is not working. The top half is with the count.
As Woodward hits the outside corner, and obviously, you know, you want the whole scoreboard to be working, but that part is the most important part in my eyes, the top part, because the score is easy for us to remember. Sometimes we can get the count a little confused, as Stolper swings and misses for strike 2.
And then, of course, over the PA system here in between innings, you do have them announcing the score just to make sure.
2 outs from Woodward, looking to set down the Dragons in order. Misses in the dirt, 1-2.
I have to wonder what kind of length they're looking for Woodward. If he cruises, you might see him go all 3, but there is some action up in that bullpen for the Stallions.
Yeah, 1-2 outside, 2-2, 2 outs. Can't quite tell who that is throwing.
And don't be worried, it has not interrupted Ray Rodriguez in the standoff.
2-2 is Fandon, and Jarek Woodward makes easy work of the Dragons. As we head to the top of the 8th, a 1-2-3 inning capped off with the Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union strikeout. As we head to the top of the 8th, 6-2 Stallions, the Saugerties Stallions Broadcast Network. Top of the 8th, 6-2 Saugerties, and Kip Fuger steps to the plate, looking to add to this 4-run advantage. And Christian Griga stays on the mound for the 1-0, misses towards his feet, 2-0.
Yeah, Fuger is 0 for 3, has not quite joined in the hit parade tonight.
Yeah, started the game at DH and then shifted to first after Tyler Kelder was pulled after a few innings. 2-0, curves on the outside corner. 2-1.
Yeah, obviously Kelder's status going to be something to watch for Stallions fans trying to, you know, obviously they want to go in the playoffs with their best lineup.
2-1 breaking ball, put in the air shallow center field, and it drops over the head of a diving Colette. Fugers, a big turnaround first, who will stay at the back, and a leadoff single. Once again, the Stallions getting a leadoff batter on base.
Yeah, Futures gets jammed, just kind of gets under that one, but again, like last inning, it just kind of flares into left center field. Nick Iverson had a very similar hit last time.
Brings up Cade Verduzco after the single by Fugers. First offering misses outside to Verduzco, who's 1 for 3. Had a single in his last at-bat coming into 6th. Garrigas, the lefty, looks over to first, and he will throw to first. Fugers, not much of a threat to steal. But after what Glens Falls saw on Sunday, 15 stolen bases allowed against the Stallions, can't quite blame him.
Yeah, can never be too safe at this point, especially trying to keep that deficit at 4.
1-0, sent back to the netting, 1-1, and it is only a 4-run game. Still anyone's ball game, so we are in the top of the 8th.
There's now no longer anybody throwing in that Stallion bullpen, but there is still Ray Rodriguez and Adam Winchell standing off here. We're in the 8th inning, and they're still going.
And Grigas puts it off the back of Verduzco, who leads the Stallions in hit by pitches this season. Just a magnet.
The PGCBL's Tim Locastro, who ironically is a PGCBL alum himself.
Really? Did not know that.
Yeah. A couple other notable guys just off the top of my head. Ramon Laureano from Oakland A's and John Means from the Orioles.
8th time that he was hit by a pitch this year. It's a lot. Second place is Will Height, who's been hit 5 times. So first and second with no outs, Caden Kendall to the plate. He's 0 for 1 to the strikeout. Takes a pitch for a ball. Grigas stares at first. Curveball misses way upstairs, 2-0.
Yeah, just didn't finish that one. Looked like he just didn't get a grip on it. Didn't quite get out in front of that release.
Two up from Grigas, the lefty winds and fires and hits the zone, 2-1. First and second for the Stallions, looking for some Hell's Mortal Realty insurance runs. Still nobody out of the 8th as Grigas comes through the windup and gets it past the bat of Caden Kendall. Kendall steps out of the box, looks down the third base side to third base coach Adam Cray. Count of it up 2 apiece. Curveball misses low and the count's full. Do you see a comment from a Jamestown Tarpskunks fan? This is a game in Glens Falls with league-wide importance as Kendall floats it deep to right field. It is caught shy of the wall by Gorman, tagging both base runners, and both are safe. So the Stallions, with just 1 out, have 2 in scoring position.
Nice piece of base running there, not only from Fugers, but from Verduzco to follow him, recognizing that the throw is going to go all the way to third. So he's pretty easily able to cruise into second there. And now, second and third, 1 out, base hit from Wilhite could push this lead to 6.
And you figure a couple more runs, that could be the dagger. Stallions trying to clinch a 2 seed tonight. With a win, they'll do it as the infield comes in for Andrew Wilhite. 1 for 2, takes down and outside, gets away from Collins momentarily, but not far enough to have Fugers headed home.
And nice block by Collins. Obviously, with the runner at third, as a catcher, your biggest priority is just keeping that ball in front of you any way you can.
1-0 from Grigas is swung through 1-1. Wilhite again 1 for 2, a single in the 5th, a walk in the 7th. He'll await the 1-1 offering with 1 out. The pitch home is outside. 2-1 now the count. You have Fugers on third, singled. And Verduzco on second was hit by a pitch. The 2-1 from the lefty is line back foul. Levels the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out.
It is now 9:05. Game has been going on for just over 2 hours. Ray Rodriguez and Adam Winchell are still competing in a standoff in their respective bullpens.
I wonder if this is going to hold up our bus departing home. 2-2, and Wilhite went fishing. It's picked up by Collins and the drop third strike on to first. In time, 2 outs.
Yeah, obviously a huge strikeout there from Grigas, trying to keep this lead at 6-2 for the Stallions. Just one more batter to go. Colin Mackel, 1 for 3. Did drive in a run with a single, but he has also struck out twice.
Grigas steals and drops the pitch in the zone. We've seen a few pitchers with some really good curveballs tonight between Reimer and Grigas.
Yeah, we really have. And, you know, Chris Crome, even though he didn't have his best start, had his slider, looked really good for a while. So, yeah, we've seen a lot of good breaking stuff from these pitchers here tonight.
0-1 to Mackel. Skied backwards. Well, now he's behind 0-2, so was an optimistic start for the Stallions in this 8th. You put 2 base runners on, then advance them over with 1 out to scoring position. Then Wilhite Kate up, and Mackel quickly behind 0-2. Pitch home from Grigas, curveball up for the first ball of the at-bat. Top 8, 6-2 Saugerties. Just 6 outs away from this massive win. Would clinch the 2 seed. The 1-2 home, hit on the ground, first base side, and that is just foul. Would have been extra bases and 2 runs.
Yeah, Mackel obviously got to be a little bit frustrated there. Hit that hard on the ground, and like you mentioned, just a few inches away from being a 2-run double down that right field line.
Fugers third, Verduzco second, and Mackel at the plate. He's 1 for 3 tonight. The 1-2 with 2 outs, and Grigas K's up Mackel, a swinging third strike, and we head to the bottom of the 8th. No runs coming across for Saugerties on 1 hit, 2 left on base. 6-2 Stallions on the Stallions Broadcast Network. Bottom 8, let's send things down to the fields with Shannon Bonwit.
Thank you, John. The standoff is still happening. Ray Rodriguez did have to remove Jacob Marquez's catcher's gear because he did need it to actually play baseball, and the dragon head of the Dragons player did come off. However, something else that happened a few innings ago. A bird that I cannot even identify flew over a few of fans' head and my head with an orange big fish in its mouth that was said to come from the pond beyond right field. You probably don't believe me. I wouldn't believe me either if you saw it, but it was absolutely crazy.
Wow, well, there you go. Thank you, Shannon. And I'm upset that I missed that bird as Woodward quickly works ahead 0-2 on JC Caffarella. I don't know, big orange fish, maybe a koi fish? That's all I
Yeah.
can think of. That's the only big orange fish that I could think of.
I'm not super up to date on my big orange fish.
0-2 outside, 1-2. We need Colin Martin to join us, our Stallions fish extraordinaire. 1-2 from Woodward, and he misses just upstairs on the 0-2 Caffarella, who is 0-22 over his last 8 games. No hits since June 22nd.
Yeah, he came in tonight batting just 111.
And he's keyed up. Another Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union strikeout by Woodward, and the Stallions now just 5 outs away from victory.
Yeah, Jarek Woodward, kind of the perfect guy for this situation because you know he's going to give you strikes. You know he's going to work quickly. And back-to-back strikeouts there. He's retired all 4 batters he's faced since coming on to start the 7th.
John Collins is 2 for 2. 2 singles to left field to his name. Hits this hard to the ground, third base side, and it's foul. So we could write like a book about just the odd occurrences that have happened in this game.
We really could. It has been such a strange night here, but obviously, like you mentioned earlier, all that matters for the Stallions is that they come out of here with a win.
0-1 on a line to Nick Iverson at third. They call it the hot corner for a reason. That was scorching towards him, but he makes the play for the second out.
Yeah, as Matt Vasgersian likes to say often in MLB The Show, that was self-defense right there. I don't think it was quite self-defense for Iverson, but a smoked line drive there by Collins. Luckily for Nick Iverson, it was basically just to the left of him. Just had to reach out and glove that one. If you're Woodward, always like being able to get away with those hard hit outs.
Breaking ball from Woodward misses inside of the top of the order in Cameron Collette, who is 1 for 3 tonight. 1-0 is swung through 1-1. We have a comment from Belkis Rodriguez. I believe is Ray's mom saying, "I miss you, Ray, go Stallions." And Ray, while he isn't playing tonight, he is making quite the impact for the Stallions. Hit towards third, diving by Iverson. And that's into left field. A 2-out single, the first base runner allowed by Jarek Woodward.
Yeah, second hit of the game for Cameron Collette. And yeah, talking about Ray Rodriguez, he might not be a part of a Stallions win, but he could be a part of his own personal win in a standoff because he and Adam Winchell are still going at it. It has been almost an hour and almost 2 hours and 15 minutes. I mean, we have 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning, John. This has been going on since before the first pitch.
Yeah, since the start of the national anthem, both players have been standing with their hands over their hearts, and neither one is willing to accept defeat. First pitch, hit towards second. Renwick has it. The throw on to Futures at first in time, and Goff is retired to end the 8th. So we head to the top of the last. The Stallions looking for a couple more runs. They lead 6-2. No runs for the Dragons. 1 hit, 1 left on base. Stallions baseball on the Saugerties Stallions Broadcast Network. Top of the last, 6-2 Stallions, and Cameron Darrow heads on the mound for the Dragons. Saugerties Stallions baseball is brought to you by Pretorius and Conrad Civil and Environmental Engineering and Land Surveying. Richards Electric, when the lights go out. Call Richards. Rip Van Winkle Country Club, bring your swing to the Rip. Rip's Auto Parts, the Stallions pitcher-catcher battery sponsor. Rip's, your hometown auto parts store. Saugerties Athletic Association, where having fun is what matters. Sawyer Chevrolet and Sawyer Motors. Stella Artois, distributed by Duchess Beer Distributors. Grab an ice cold Stella. At the Stallions Watering Trough, Steyer's, celebrating over 50 years of keeping you on the road. Suncommon, a solar company with a purpose beyond profit. The computer guys don't get robbed by the other guys. Call the computer guys. The Emerson Resort, treat yourself to a getaway at the Emerson. Ulster Federal Credit Union, get rewarded with Ulster Federal Credit Union. And Ulster Savings, celebrating 170 years with 170 acts of kindness.
John, do you need some water after reading all those ads?
It's like a workout in and of itself. But as always, an enormous thanks to all of our great sponsors and partners. Really help make the Stallions what they are.
Yeah, really incredible that we have that many ads to even read in the first place.
Max Morris watches a strike, 0-1. And yes, as Belkis Rodriguez says, the team may have to carry him on the bus like that. I agree. I don't think either player is going to budge at the conclusion of this game. Morris is 0 for 2 tonight, did walk in his last at-bat. The 0-1, hit on the ground, third base side, and foul. Now behind 0-2.
Somebody's going to drive by this field at about 2 in the morning. The lights are still going to be on. And they're going to think, oh, that's weird. Why are the lights still on? And they're going to come on the field, and Winchell and Ray Rodriguez are going to be just standing here staring at each other.
0-2 from Darrow. His first batter faced. Breaking ball is slapped foul, third base side. And the count remains 0-2.
Cameron Darrow is very much a local guy. He went to South Glens Falls High School. Pitches for SUNY Adirondack. This is his 7th appearance of the year for Glens Falls. First against the Stallions. And last.
0-2, misses low, 1-2. Yeah, our final time at East Fields. It's been a pleasure. Great group of people who work here, and we're so grateful. Shout out to our guy, Jim.
Yeah, we have a pretty nice setup here in the press box. Obviously, the setups can vary depending on where you go, but I think, yeah, we're spoiled up here in Glens Falls, especially as a visiting broadcast team.
1-2 misses upstairs, 2-2 now the count. As Darrow comes through the delivery, chopped to third, and that's foul. Luckily for the Dragons, took a weird hop under the glove of Whitaker. Probably would have been extra bases, but instead the count stays 2-2.
You saw Whitaker kind of swipe up at that ball, and then, like you mentioned, he expected it to take a high hop, and it really didn't. Kind of just stayed down on the ground. But it doesn't really matter because, like you said, just a little bit fell.
2 balls and 2 strikes. 0-2 on Morris. As the righty Darrow fires home and dips down and out. Full count.
And it's things like this that really, I think, endear Max Morris to this team. He doesn't have to get the result necessarily, but he just puts together a good, strong, quality at-bat basically every time he's at the plate.
Full count. And he fouls it back to keep this at-bat going. This is a game with major playoff implications. I know we have some Jamestown fans watching. That 2 seed's still up for grabs. If the Stallions can come away with a win tonight, they lead 6-2 in the top of the 9th, or win, if they do lose tonight, or win against Oneonta 2 nights from now, they get the 2 seed. Or if Jamestown loses their season finale, the Stallions get the 2 seed. 3-2, grounded, third base side, and foul. But let's forget about any other situation. As simple as it gets, if they can get these 3 outs, they win the game.
And that's the situation you play for. You know, you want to control your own destiny. You don't want to have to rely on, another team winning or another team losing. And right now, the Stallions are in that situation. All they have to do is close out this game, and then you can go into Thursday's regular season finale just with a clear mind and kind of take it easy and just prepare for Saturday, your first playoff game.
Full count. Morris line shot right to the shortstop Collette. 1 away.
Yeah, a bit of an unfortunate ending to that at bat for Morris. Wore him down, saw 8 pitches against Darrow, and ended up lining one, but unfortunately for him, just happens to be right at Cameron Collette. Similar to the John Collins line out at Nick Iverson in the bottom half of the 8th.
Both were very well hit balls.
Yes, yeah. Both balls squared up, hit on a line, but both of them right at an infielder.
Nick Iverson.
Speaking of Nick Iverson.
Yes, has consecutive multi-hit games as he swings through a high fastball, really picking up steam down the final stretch of this season. Has a hit in 5 of his last 6. He's behind 0-1, 1 away. 6-2 Stallions, top 9. Watches outside, 1-1. But he's the type of guy who, if the Stallions are going to make a playoff run, it's going to be the Nick Iversons of the world with his defense and some recent production at the plate that could carry the Stallions to a win as he takes upstairs 2-1, because you figure you're going to get a good game out of some of the usual suspects. You know you're going to get good defense from Iverson, but can he produce at the plate?
Exactly. Yeah. You know the Kip Futures and the Kelders and the Josh Stevensons are going to hit, but it's the rest of the guys that have to step up, and I think that's going to be the difference, especially when you want to hang with a team like Amsterdam. All guys in their lineup hit from top to bottom. Everyone hits, so the Stallions have to be able to match that.
3-1. Sky to center. In comes Andrew Goff. Camps under, 2 outs. Jarrett Brown is 0 for 2, although he did bring home a run with a bases loaded walk in the 7th. 6-2 Stallions, 2 outs, top 9. No action in the Stallions bullpen, so this seems to be Jarek Woodward's game to close out as Brown takes a strike at the knees. Which, hey, the way Woodward's been pitching, no reason to change anything.
No, pitch count is good. He's been efficient. He's retired 6 of 7 batters he's faced. And he's working with a solid 4-run lead.
0-1, misses in the dirt, 1-1 in Jarrett Brown.
I know you mentioned Jarrett Brown, obviously RBI walk with the bases loaded last time up. He's walked a lot. Entered tonight with just a batting average of just 161, but an on-base percentage of 382.
1-1 again down. Yeah, he's a good eye, patient guy.
Yeah, takes like that are part of the reason why right there. I mean, think about this. 382 on-base percentage with a 161 average, right? Tyler Kelder is batting 255. His on-base percentage is 377. It's lower than Jarrett Brown's.
2-1 with 2 outs to Brown. He has taken high, 3-1, and he's a ball away from drawing another walk, getting on base. But, hey, for a guy like Brown, his hitting numbers not that great. We said 161. But if he's able to get on base and set the top of the order up, it goes a long way.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why you have him in the 10 spot and Iverson in the 9 instead of the other way around, too.
And he is going to reach a pitch at his back. Brown's going to head off to first.
Well, on the bright side, his on-base percentage goes up a little bit more.
In a painful way, yes.
Yeah, I'm sure he would have rather just taken a ball there.
Yeah, Delvecchia and Kraft, injury attorneys, hit by pitch. If you've been hit, call Delvecchia and Kraft, injury lawyers. That keeps this top of the 9th going. Stallions up 6-2, 2 outs. And Josh Stevenson, top of the order at the plate. 1 for 3 in the evening. First pitch, inside for a ball. Singled all the way back in the first. At a time when we didn't even realize the standoff was going, but folks, it's still up. It's still a competitive standoff. Brown takes off to second. Throw down from Collins, not in time. Another Benson steal. The Stallions not quite at 15, but with their struggles to a degree to hit tonight, it's been a lot of the moving around to the base path that has gotten them these 6 runs.
Yeah, they've been able to create some pressure on the base paths and, kind of that small ball moving guys over. They haven't had, too many hits. They didn't really get the offense going to these last few innings, but like you mentioned, they were really able to manufacture some runs early on.
2-0 away for ball 3. And that just adds a new dynamic. This has been a team that has been aggressive all year long, but we have not seen them be this aggressive between 2 nights ago here, last night at Oneonta, tonight again. It is a game-changing facet of this squad as Stevenson takes a ball four. Back-to-back free 90s issued by Cameron Darrow after recording a fairly quick first 2 outs.
Yeah, he looks pretty good in the first 2 batters. Obviously, Max Morris had a lengthy at-bat to start the inning, but wore him down, retired Iverson with relative ease, and now he's going to get a mound visit here. And he mentioned Jarrett Brown stolen base, the 5th of the night for the Stallions. So yeah, while it's not really anywhere close to approaching 15, still very sizable amount, 5 stolen bases on the night. Especially when you consider that starting pitcher Chris Grome was left-handed as well. Typically, you have a much more difficult time stealing off those guys.
Yeah, 2 of the 4 pitchers we've seen tonight. Grigas as well.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Well, a mound visit, as we do have a mound visit. Again, and thanks to everyone for joining us. Let's give a little social media plug. Make sure to, first of all, subscribe to our YouTube page. This is the exclusive home of Stallions live broadcast. Hit subscribe to be notified every single time that we go live and upload new content. Also follow us on our social media platforms on Facebook under Saugerties Stallions, Twitter at PGCBL Stallions, and Instagram and TikTok at the Saugerties Stallions. Jack Renwick to the plate, 0 for 4 on the night. First pitch he sees, and on the outside corner, 0-1.
Yeah, Renwick riding a modest 4-game hitting streak coming into tonight, so this will probably be his last chance to keep that going. Sit safely in 6 of his last 7.
Both runners go. The double steals on. It was a great pitch to go off of. It's in the dirt, and with 2 down, the Stallions have 2 in scoring position.
Yeah, well, John just mentioned that the Stallions had 5 stolen bases on the night, and now you can make it 7. Double steal there, and yeah, pitch in the dirt. No chance that Collins is going to be able to throw to either base. So definitely a good choice to run on that one.
6-2 Stallions, top 9, the 1-1 with 2 outs. Slapped back by Renwick, and he's now behind 1-2. Brown on third was hit by a pitch, then stole 2 bases to get to third. Stevenson walked. He stole a base to get to second.
And obviously a base hit here for Renwick would be huge, not just because it would extend his hitting streak personally, but because it would push a Stallions lead from 6-2 to 8-2.
1-2 with a pair of outs. Pitch home from Darrow. High chopper, third base side. Whitaker makes the play. Throw on to first. Just in time. And that wraps up the top of the 9th. We get to the bottom of the 9th. No runs coming across for Saugerties. The Stallions 3 outs away from a 2 seed. After this, on the Saugerties Stallions Broadcast Network. Three outs separate the Saugerties Stallions from a first-round bye in the PGCBL postseason. Kobe Briette leads off. First pitch he sees. High chopper up the middle. Charging is Renwick. A bare hand and no throw. An infield single by Briette. It's 6-2 Saugerties at the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah, kind of similar idea to Nick Iverson's second hit of the game. Just not a super hard hit ball, tapper up the mound. You saw Jarek Woodward kind of backpedal and try to get that one, but he couldn't. Just kind of perfectly placed in between him and those middle infielders, Brown and Renwick.
Brings up Evan Keegan. There's the second base runner that Jared Woodward has allowed. As he blows a pitch past the bat of Evan Keegan.
Yeah, Keegan 1 for 3. Singled his last time.
Woodward checks back at first. 0-1, make it 0-2, high heat. Gets him ahead quickly.
Back-to-back fastballs here right by him. Be interesting to see if he tries to triple up or maybe try to throw something else. But I mean, if you sped you've blown 2 fastballs by him, no reason to speed up his bat here.
0-2, and it's fouled into the glove of Morris, a Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union strikeout. 1 out.
I mean, that's exactly what I was talking about. No reason to speed up his bat and give him something slower if he's having trouble catching up to the fastball, so they just say, all right, let's throw it again, high fastball, and again, he gets it by him. Third strikeout for Jarek Woodward so far.
In 2 1/3 inning of work.
Yeah.
Brings up Joe Rendy, the lefty. He slaps it into right field. That is a base hit. Around seconds, Briette, he will haul to the bag. It's bobbled by Verduzco, but just a single with 1 away.
I was a little bit surprised that Briette didn't more strongly consider going to third there, especially after Verduzco bobbled it. He probably would have been there, but maybe a little break for the Stallions. Still a 4-run lead to the tying run. Still in the on-deck circle, but if you're Jarek Woodward, you would love ground ball to either short or second right now.
Michael Gorman is 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a fly out to right. He steps in, trying to mount a rally for the Dragons. Not quite out of it just yet. Down by 4 runs with 1 out and runners in first and second. First pitch gets Gorman going around. The Stallions on the doorstep of a monumental moment in franchise history. A win tonight would clinch a 2 seed and a first-round bye and a home semifinal game. Line to second, and Renwick steps on the bag. A double play unassisted, and the Saugerties Stallions have clinched the 2 seed. 6-2 the final. A franchise that was founded back in 2015. The Hinchy family took over following that first season, and they have done absolute wonders. So many people have poured their hearts and souls into this organization to get to them to a moment like this. They are headed to the semifinals of the PGCBL postseason. A first-round bye and a home semifinal game on July 31st.
Yeah, what a monumental achievement for this Stallions team. You've really, obviously, John, you more than anybody, you have been here for years now. You've seen this team grow and improve year after year, and now finally, after making the playoffs the last few seasons, now able to not just do that, but clinch a first-round bye. So as you move into the postseason, Stallions will be at home as the 2 seed, and they will need only 1 win to make their way to the PGCBL championship.
And Dylan, an update, a handshake right on the middle of the diamond between Ray Rodriguez and Adam Winchell. It's a tie.
Yeah,
it
we'll
is
call
stalemate.
it a tie.
Yep.
How about those 2 guys? I mean, you got to give it to both of them. That is just pure determination. They just got into a standoff for the entire duration of this game, which was just over 2.5 hours, and neither of them moved the whole time. I mean, I had to go to the bathroom a couple times during this game. They stood in the same spots, both of them, the whole game.
Well, the Saugerties Stallions, a 6-2 win final road regular season matchup. Now 27-12 on the season. Glens Falls drops its 19th straight game and falls to 7-34. The Stallions have an off day tomorrow, then back at home on Thursday for the regular season finale before heading to the playoffs on Saturday. The opponent TBD, but one thing's for sure. The Stallions are in the semifinals and just 1 win away from an appearance in the championship. Big congratulations to the Stallions team. A big congratulations to the Hinchy family and to everyone who's been involved with this franchise since its inception Truly a monumental, historic moment in the history of the Stallions, and the best news yet, they're not done. Still baseball to be played. That'll do it for our broadcast tonight from East Fields. My broadcast partner Dylan McGlynn, our sideline reporter Shannon Bonawit. I'm John Gross signing off from East Fields. Stallions win 6-2. And roll ponies.